Okay, everything in this Metroid playlist is like clearly using like badly compressed MP3s, so we're just gonna switch to something else. How does that sound? Well, this is the second time this week I've just kind of spaced out and totally missed the start time. Hello, everyone. Fantastic Fridays. Hope everyone's doing well. Things are going pretty well here. I have my friend's dog here hanging out with me. My dog is over there, off screen. We went outside a little bit earlier. I sat down and played my Steam Deck, and they were just they were actually zooming around and playing for once. This is not a thing that always happens with these dogs. This one likes to sit in the sun and lay around and ignore my dog. So things can get can be a little boring, honestly. But today they got right to play. Apparently, Insu over here was bored today, so that is to my dog's benefit and mine. We are here to do some GM prep. We'll do that in a little bit. We have the session tomorrow. One could look at it as last minute, but I wanted to take a little bit of time to think on things this week, how to kind of like round out this arc we're in, because kind of the person I was going to build up is like the big bad of this arc. It's not really a big bad if they're just the boss of this arc, whatever, who the combat boss of this arc got kind of defeated last session, got pulled back into the narrative early, and I'm not one to like deny the world that I'm running, like how it would move, if that makes sense. So I was just like, yeah, he would totally show up and try to boot you guys out. We'll get to that. We'll get to all that. It's not time for the recap yet, but we're getting there. Point being, I've had to kind of like rethink the end of this arc a little bit. Had some epiphanies that we will talk about shortly. And other than that, I've been like not on stream a ton this week, even though I said I wanted to be. I mean, we got on stream earlier. We did some music yesterday, Wednesday. And we're getting on to do GM prep today. We're not skipping streams, but they've been shorter streams because I've had like a little bit of contract work that I want to get wrapped up before Dawn Trail comes out next week, honestly. So that's been my focus a little bit for a couple of days. And yeah, that I am happy to say succeeded. I'm pretty much done with all the stuff I need to do for this project, although it's like a data engineering project, and I found out some of the data that I'm pulling in is like not great. So I was seeing some weird things in my results, my queries of the tables I was building, and I was like, this is kind of strange. Am I doing something wrong? And I played around with that a little bit, and no, it all seemed fine. I couldn't think of any reason why it would be screwing up. And then I went and I looked at like the source data, and I was like, oh, actually the source data is just bad, which is always a bit like, then I have to go find evidence that the source data is like having some problems and not built the way they expect. And I have to like show them that. I have to build up like a whole report on why it's not my fault that this thing doesn't look the way they want it to look. So that's going on, but pretty much is done. So I'm ready to like no life Dawn Trail a little bit when it comes out next week. We're still gonna stream a couple of times next week. After all, Final Fantasy XIV is gonna go down on a Wednesday until it comes up on Friday for early access, so I've got time to go. Might stream on Wednesday, we'll see. Still probably gonna do GM prep, even though there's gonna be no session next week for the same reason. If we get ahead of it, if we actually just have time where we're like, if we do 2 GM prep sessions, 2 weeks of GM prep sessions, and we're kind of like done with what we need for the campaign in the immediate moment, then I'll work on a map that I think is going to be important soon. So we'll just have a nice mapping session. I can even not kick my players out for that, so that'll be nice. I think a couple of, like, my GM prep sessions are now going to be on Monday. And I know Voraktee streams on Monday. I know, technically, Konnor and Moto can hang out more on Mondays than they can on weekend days, which is why I used to prep on the weekends. Tried to very briefly prep on the weekends anyway, and then the days got shifted around, and now that's not the thing anymore once again. So it'll be nice to be able to be like, hey, Moto, you can come hang out. You can come hang out while I'm doing this map. There's no secrets here. We're just fleshing out the map we were using in West Marches. So that'll be nice. It's always nice when my players can actually come hang out. Yeah, I've got some coffee that I've made. I grabbed breakfast, scrambled to get breakfast before I hopped on. I meant to get on several hours ago, but I was like, you know what, we're just gonna relax. I've got the dog here. We're gonna go hang outside with the dog. We're gonna we're gonna relax. We're gonna get breakfast. We're gonna make some coffee twice, and we're just gonna have a nice relaxing day. And for that reason, we're probably not gonna play Final Fantasy VII today. I was like, on a nice chill Friday. So I took it easy, and now I don't have as much time to stream. So we're gonna get the GM prep done, and then I'm gonna hop offline. I'm probably gonna draw for a couple of hours. I got very distracted yesterday. I was like doing an assignment for this like art class that I'm taking, and I started like crosshatch shading it, and then I just crosshatch shaded the whole thing and played around with that for like 45 minutes. And it makes me want to draw some like 70s, 80s era fantasy monsters. And just as an excuse to crosshatch. And that might be. I still have my assignment stuff that I gotta do tonight, but that might be a thing I do soon. I've got like this school course I'm doing on the one hand, right? And that, it's like a 60-day like just get started drawing thing, and that's coming up to an end in like 10 days, 15 days, something like that. I turned off the dashboard thing where it's like, show me when people leave, and it keeps showing up anyway, and that's really annoying. I don't care. I don't want to see that. It's bad for my mental, man. Okay, I think I have refixed it as I no longer see it in chat. I think I fixed it. Yeah. Okay, same. All right. What was I saying? Art stuff. So, I was talking to a friend and I was like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to replace this class with when it's done. And they were like, well, I just touched my glasses and now they're blurry. And okay, hold on. I guess I'll clean my glasses while I'm talking about this. I get to see glassesless Varus. Talking to a friend about it. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe another friend of mine is getting into drawing. Maybe I'll get them to start like Drawbox, and we'll, they probably. Voraktee shouldn't be here to listen to me talk shit about him. He probably will not be putting the same amount of time into it that I am. I can barely believe that I am actually putting 2 hours a day into drawing consistently for 2 months now. That's very weird to me. I usually cannot, like, I don't know. I'm scared of when it will end, because when my habits break, I'm not very diligent about, like, putting them back on track. And, like, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I will keep up this 2 hour business forever, but I think Voraktee is busier than me, and I think he is too busy probably to do 2 hours a day. So I was like, maybe I'll just keep doing this other YouTube thing that I'm following, and I'll convince Voraktee to start like draw a box with me. And this other friend of mine was like, probably not do that. Maybe you should just do 2 projects first before you jump into something else long term. Just to like draw some art that you like want to draw and just see it through to what you consider done. Because you're like doing assignments and you're like, you're getting through what your assignment is, and then you're calling it done, which I totally am. That's all totally true and fair. I'm literally telling them this. They're like, it will probably be good for you if you put some of this into practice on a project that you want to do. And I was like, then I have to like care about it. Right now I'm just beholden to the classes, and I'm like doing the classes, and that's very good in terms of getting stuff done for my brain. and making it like not get in the way of music too much either. I still actually have time to like get some music stuff done. And I don't know about this jumping into personal project stuff, working on something I care about. That sounds a little bit like it could be sad. If I get done with this personal project and I don't like the results, that will be like demotivating. So I'm a little scared of doing that, but probably I will. Probably I will do that. It might be just a couple sheets of like fantasy monsters, something like that. Like I said, do some like crosshatch shading. That might be the plan. So that's the art update that I said I would procrastinate on yesterday. So there you go. I've guaranteed that out of the people actually curious about my art will hear that update because they're all players in my campaign. And therefore they are not here right now because I have a sign on the title on the door saying no players. Players get out. So that's, I guess we'll repeat this again soon. So yeah. On the music side, we worked on the dungeon track a little bit last night. Had someone come in and ask like, hey, is there like a YouTube channel where I can... The first person who's actually come in and asked if I have this like available somewhere, if I like stream this music anywhere. And I was like, shit, no, not really. I have this YouTube channel that has like 3 songs. They were like, okay. And so, to briefly re-explain, in a little bit, I'm gonna have this whole album that I've been working on of like Monsters Against the Void themed, kind of like spacey fantasy music that we've been working on. And I'm gonna put that up as like a playlist on my YouTube channel when it's done with like all the main themes and stuff. And I'm gonna put that up around the same time that I'm gonna have like a Patreon up. It will be up by then. And I'm also going to be putting that album on the, like, I'm going to be trying. I haven't talked to anyone about this yet. Who's running the thing? But I'm going to put this music on the Foundry store that's coming out later this year. And might as well throw it on Roll20 if they'll have it. I'm pretty confident in some of the tracks, so I'm pretty sure if I send a sample, they'll probably just be happy to have it on the store. I don't know. I think... My music, particularly the like dungeon combat song that we did recently, I think is good enough to pass the quality sniff test. So that's kind of the vague, broader, actually very specific. That's not vague at all. Those are very specific plans for the music that we've been working on recently, and that's where that is. I see my face 3 times when I alt tab right now. And then we'll get into the GM prep in a minute, the moment I can log in to Forge. But Forge has been a little bit goofy on me lately. In terms of getting into my game. But it's working on it. I can see it. I can see it working. It's not going to tell me it can't log in again. It's not going to tell me that. I love the Forge service. Like 80%. Like 85%. Like it so much better than Roll20 in many areas, many factors. It's a very usable website, but it's given me a little bit of guff lately logging into the game, and that's a little bit sad. But we're in. Oh yeah, I had like the perfect way to reword this note. Okay, we're gonna get into it. Give me a moment to switch my camera as we are graced by a dog in the chair over there. So we're going to swap this with this. And now you can see dog laying over my right shoulder. Stage, it's left for you guys, right? Man, that's fucking me up. It's on the left. Usually I can get the camera sides correct and it's not a problem, but right now I'm just like, if I'm looking at it over here, if it's over there, is it reversed on the other person's screen? Like my whole monitor, it's like they can't be looking at it at the same angle I am, right? Yes, they can. It's a computer. I'm sending video frames through a tube to everyone else. We're seeing the same thing. that I see in my preview, obviously. Okay. Foundry, wow, they're up to the 4th stable build in Foundry V12. I'm gonna try to switch to V12 in July. Maybe during this week off. I'll look into how easy it will be to switch. But I don't know. I'm a little concerned. I'm using a lot of modules right now in this campaign in particular to make everything like look nice for the stream and everything. But V12 has some stuff that I want, including like, you know, we're gonna have a way to be like, okay, I draw this area. Wow, that was weird. You know, we'll have a way where I can like draw out an area and I can set it to be like difficult terrain. and so it will actually calculate the difficult terrain for people, and that will be lovely. I'm very excited for that. Okay. All right. So let me hit the flag here. And let's get into the recap. So I'm going to try to be a little more concise with the overall story recap this time. We're getting deep enough that like recapping the whole campaign for everyone is a bit difficult. So let's give the short version of that. There appears to be a star coming to the planet with an alien on it that wants to take over the world, for lack of a better phrase. They want to take over the world. They want to eat the 4 main gods of this world that have been sealed away by the population for being bad, for being naughty gods. And that left a crack in the defenses that they built after they were sealed away. For this creature from the void to arrive and enact revenge for an ages-old grudge spanning 10,000 years-ish. So the party followed some leads. They found this cult in a place, setting up camp in a place called the Moonlight Pools. Found some there. They intercepted a book with some notes about where some of the ancient gods, the native gods to this world, are sealed away before the 4 main gods arrived and took over the world. So they found some notes on the locations of these sealed gods. They tried to let one out. Turns out they were already dead. So they got like some blessings and some advice, some information from that god. Let out another god of riddles, which knew one of the party members. One of the party members is a very ancient creature, actually, and this god of riddles happened to have a ages-old crush on our resident Sphinx player. So there's that going on. As they let this god out, it emerged from the place where this god was held. They were ambushed. They were set upon by the leaders, 2 of the leaders of this cult called the Unshackled. The eye of the Seraph and the voice of the Seraph. The Seraph is this alien that's coming. They were holding this friendly NPC that the party had found, Luca. They were holding him hostage, saying, like, you took this artifact that Luca was solving for us, and you took this book giving these old god tomb locations, the locations of these old gods that you're letting out. We want those back, please. And then you can have your friend. Your friend is useless to us without the puzzle box that you have, the artifact that you have, and we know you care about this man. So give us those things back or we stab him. And the party saw them creeping up. It was hard for these folks. The party left watch, so they had a little bit of a forewarning that these people were coming to make these demands. So they climbed up on this cliff to even the playing field a little bit. The like height advantage that these 2 enemies would have had. which kind of changed how this fight went. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the fight was kind of set up as we have basically a cleric reinforcing kind of a fighter is the situation going on. They tried to appeal to the fighter's kind of like sense of honor. I got the feeling that he was kind of a caring guy, kind of a softie, and maybe didn't. They wanted to think that the voice, the person keeping an eye on this cult, leading this cult, being kind of like the spiritual leader, they wanted to think that this guy was redeemable and could help their cause, could be used to kind of like flip the rest of the cult, and then this incoming seraph wouldn't have the support base that these guys have been building up. The voice shut that down and was like, I'm in this for the long haul, but their appeals kind of like made him go, yeah, you know, holding a hostage like this isn't how I want to do this. He was uncomfortable with that. Didn't really like the way Augustine, the eye of the seraph, was acting. So he turned around, made an appeal to Augustine, saying, this is not how we should do this. They're right about that one thing. We let the hostage go. And Augustine was like, very well. Shoved the hostage away. And then they started fighting. Being up here was a bit of a blessing and a curse for the party. They, a couple of people did not make it up in time. Scene of auction, their bard was stuck down there, and he had some issues with sight lines. They could only see people like right on the ledge, and that worked for a little bit. But he couldn't like cast supporting spells on his party. I really should have deleted the sight line. This is one thing I thought of, is like, I should just... Oh, I had this in kind of a weird way. No, that makes sense. This makes sense. I should have deleted these sight lines. Do I? No. What did... Goodbye. Have a good day, friend. I need an easier, like... Why do the emotes gotta be in the way of, like, the buttons, you know? Oh, Adam's monitoring it. I'm not used to this YouTube stuff at all. There we go. Message retracted. Interesting. All right. There we go. Okay. Anyway. I should have deleted this sightline before, kind of like once we had the party up here, once they kind of knew what was going on up here, I should have just deleted the sightline and let him kind of cast things up here with, like, cover and stuff. Should have done that. If he had asked about that, I would have been like, yeah, that's totally fine. They'll just have, like, you know, if they're away from the ledge, they'll have partial cover. If they're, like, 2 spaces away from the edge, they'll have full cover. And they'll also be, like, concealed. So it'll be, like, a low chance to hit, but whatever. So that was one thing I immediately should have changed. We had, like... Who did we have up top? We had Turkon... Our big barbarian, our rogue, and the summoner is Eidolon. We're up here on top, and I guess Isha, yeah, our oracle also climbed up. So we really had the summoner himself was down below. Same with our bard. Same with our witch, and they don't have great like athletics. They weren't able to climb this wall very easily. And that kind of I think made the fight not that interesting for them. It made this whole area a lot less set piecey. The fact that like the whole fight happened up here instead of like I wanted kind of like the caster up here, and then maybe someone could go chase him down with the marshal kind of down here is like how it was planned. But them climbing up here kind of like changed the dynamic a lot. I was gonna have like the marshal trying to like kick people into these tar pits, which would have been a whole thing. There was only one up here, and the fight just, like, didn't happen near it very much, so things went differently. The hostage was a non-issue because of their negotiations, so that was smart play on the party's part. They had their god friend out here helping out, kind of, but he's not a fighter. Not like an offensive spellcaster. So he did some things. He's got he's got riddles. So like he's probably got some mind affecting spells and abilities. So he like threw the fighter into threw his mind into kind of a puzzle until he could figure it out. He was basically blinded until he could figure out this riddle. Which was the same stupid riddle he gave the party in the previous session about like, I'm a key that that doesn't unlock any doors. What am I? And the answer is like a monkey. So we gave that dumb riddle to the fighter. The fighter rolled horribly to figure it out and was kind of like unable to really fight back for a couple of turns. And it was a decent fight, decent slugfest, all told. Castor got a couple of spells off. Turkon got beat up a bit, but a lot of folks left the fight with very little damage. So it was probably not a tense fight, all told. The cleric went down, not like super fast, but went down first, and then there was just a slow game of like cornering and flanking the fighter and preventing him from kind of doing his game plan. But the cleric got a couple of spells off. Like, this is Turkon after some healing. This is Isha after some healing. So he was like blasting people with some harm spells, and like Turkon is now branded as an enemy of the cult eternally. Until he can get that like removed from someone else, by someone else. Yeah, this isn't like it's just a curse. Yeah. So it's got an unlimited duration. And yeah. So it was like a good fight. I was a little worried kind of pulling in these two enemies that were built up as like the big enemies for this arc into the same fight and not making it like a big set piece. Like, it's just kind of where they decided to ambush the party. But after thinking about it more, I'm not that worried about it. I can build up some more stuff pretty quickly, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Augustine, who they kind of suspected as being the Eye, they also suspected of killing this other NPC they knew named Oriole, who's also in the cult. He was interpreting the dreams of the cult members and kind of switchboarding, telling them where to go, where they were needed. The party kind of, suspected that Augustine had him killed. Didn't kill him himself because he left town before the crime happened. But they kind of had started suspecting that maybe he had someone else do it. And they were ultimately correct. He had a note on him. That's right here behind my face that says, a simple folded note written with haste. The remedy for our dwarf friend's dreams took. Which I just kind of want to rewrite. It's not like that bad, but it's in kind of... it could be in a slightly clearer format. It's supposed to be obvious for someone who knows what's going on, but the language is like a little bit weird. But like, not all of the players are used to seeing took used in this way, so there is like a little bit of grammatical confusion about it. It's also it is a bit of a clumsy sentence, and at the time that Moto was reading it out last week, I was like, oh, I should have written it like this. I have like the perfect wording for it. Now that's out of my head. It's gone. I no longer have that perfect wording in my brain. So we'll see if I come up with it by tomorrow. It is not a priority to write. Oh, the other thing I did, I guess. So they have this god friend. They have this divine helper, Anha, the god of riddles, who they thought was god of truth, but actually god of riddles. The other thing I did was have him kind of turn some of these stones, kind of pseudo cast a spell that would turn some of these stones and help the party up who was struggling to get into the fight. Just let them up there and help out the last couple of rounds. And I think that was fine and good. Before we move on to the end of the session, the other thing I would do in the future is, like, there are these ledges, right? This leads you, like, this whole stretch was 20 feet up. Anything on a ledge like this, I said, was like 5 feet up. So it left only like 15 feet to climb. And I probably should have been like, I should have tiered this a little more to be like, okay, you can get up to 5 feet, and then like you can kind of like follow a line over here to get up like another 5 feet. So it's only like 10 feet up, and I should have allowed for a longer path up rather than like straight up the wall, you know? That would have been a little bit more decision making, at least, instead of just having Seat of Auction in particular be like, I have no proficiency in this, in the skills that would let me get up this cliff. I just cannot. So until he got help, he was a little bit stuck. And the player is not the kind of player who would like ask another character for help getting up this cliff necessarily. He just like wouldn't think to do that roleplay. So it kind of probably wasn't the most interesting fight for him. So I would have built this arena a little bit differently for that purpose. But again, you know, I should have built it that way from the beginning anyway, but I did expect the fight to go differently. I expected the Seraph to be down here, fighting people on that tier, and the whole challenge was like, oh, we have this annoying caster up top that's like healing this guy, giving this guy buffs. And that's kind of the way I intended the fight to go. And when I let people up, like they spotted these people coming, and then they got up this cliff to prepare, and then like that was smart on the party, but also the party members who couldn't climb as easily got a little screwed, and it probably felt a little bad. But you know, that kind of texture is like part of the game, so I shouldn't probably worry about it too much. Anyway, end of the session. They were like, all right. They were patting themselves on the back. They were like, okay, great. We got these 2 cult leaders dead. We are so far ahead now. We're doing great. And then they heard chanting from up top, and they saw these like blackened bark vines kind of push out of the ground and try to grab the body of Augustine, the eye of the Seraph. Tried to encapsulate it. They managed to like pull the body out of the vines. They managed to attack the vines and break the vines. They were rolling very well on these things. As they were doing this, I described a large spider made of this black bark kind of descending the wall down to them. With these horns growing out of its head, these strange antler horns growing out of the spider's head. And they were immediately like, oh, is this the orc? Is this related to the orc that we saw watching us open the other god vault? What's going on? Is this that person? And they found out soon that yes, it was. The spider got down here on the same level as them. And I thought I put Monster Hunter Jazz later. It's fine. We're fine. We're good. Let's go back to the start of it. It jumped right into the middle. That's part of it. Okay. So the spider got down to the same level as them, turned into that horned orc that they saw. And he said something along the lines of like, well done, well fought. The spoils of this battle are yours. But I'm taking the body of Augustine, the eye. And that's where we cut it. And the party was like, oh shit. And it was a pretty good cliffhanger ending. A couple of the players are like, oh, you've lost connection to the server. Great. Hopefully that's just that. If I don't know exactly what I'll do if like my internet goes out today. Anyway. So party, like I said, a couple of the players were messaging me being like, I am so excited to play again next week. So been working on this pacing thing, been working on having like like cliffhangers in mind and foreshadowing, so the cliffhangers make sense. They saw this orc before, and it's some of this stuff that I'm not so practiced with this more narrative campaign we're doing. I usually run big sandboxes where, you know, I'm still kind of doing the thing where I set up situations and I let the players figure out what to do about them, but I feel like I'm firing on all cylinders on some of this narrative stuff. I'm picking up some tricks and habits that are good for the game. I feel like I'm doing a better job of the narrative stuff than maybe I was a little worried that I was going to crash and burn with it, but it's been very satisfying. So that's the recap. So what do we have to do this time? Would you believe that I don't have the orc fully prepared? Would you believe that I wasn't 100% sure how this whole situation was going to turn out, and I don't have the orc like super ready to go? They're a player character from the previous campaign. They're a player character named Uro, for anyone who was around for the West Marches stuff. So I'm gonna go grab his character sheet and try to import it over here. I have to figure out how cross world modules work. And that's homework I'll leave to the end and might do offline, maybe. What else do we have to do? We have to noodle on. We're getting to the end of this arc. I know that like they're getting towards the end of this day. I'm probably not gonna let them go a whole nother session like without sleeping. Because it's been like 3. It's been like 3 sessions without them taking a rest, and they've gotten quite a bit done. I'm like talked about hours passing as they're like pumping out these tar pools. So we might, you know, I might emphasize that like darkness is falling, time is gonna keep progressing, and things are, you know, things are moving forward. When we've got 2 nights left, not 2 full days, but two full nights left, until this Seraph arrives on his strange comet. And so things are going to start escalating quickly now that that's happening soon. So we're gonna talk about that today, and that's the other bit of prep. So we're gonna go start with a worksheet, and we'll get into those scenes of escalation while we're doing the prep sheet. So we'll do that first, and then we'll go work on foundry fiddliness and character sheets and getting character sheets ported over and setting up NPC sheets and that kind of thing. So where are we? Close the lore folder, session notes. That's what we want. So we're gonna make a new session worksheet to the sounds of Monster Hunter jazz. My volume was cranked, man. Let me know if you folks want more music, less music, in terms of volume. Okay. I put the session worksheet in the wrong. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I did that without reviewing my notes. Do I have any notes? No. Very funny. I didn't take any notes last time. Excellent. Well done, Varys. I should go back and fill in those notes. Stuff definitely happened that session. It's the 21st today. I need to fix the script. Lol. Oopsies. Oopsies? What the? That's not what I expected Control Z to do. Whatsoever. Okay, 22. Let's just do it right now, shall we? Shall we go fix the script? I have an automated script that sets up these worksheets when I make a new folder, a new note in the session notes folder. Makes it with these set properties in this format of like worksheet, scenes, secrets, clues, notes. This is Obsidian, by the way. We're gonna start on step 1. So is it in the template? Is that where the script is? Templates, sessions. Yeah. Oh no. 0100. It's a little weird that it fills in a date there. Okay, so that's not where I edit that script. I forget. This is why I haven't done it yet, because I have forgotten. Actually, maybe that is the right spot. Let's just look. Templater, templates, template hotkeys. Session.md. That should be, yeah. User scripts. This is it. No user scripts folder set. Okay, it's not a script. Enable user system command functions. Interesting. So it must be in the template, right? Okay, let's go take another look. Let's take another look at the template. Sessions. What the hell? There it is. Okay, source mode. So it's just the 6th day of the week, not the 5th. Saturday is the 6th day of the week according to this formatting. So that's all I need to do. And now if I make a new note, it does it correctly. Okay. We're going to delete untitled. Okay. Anyway, so scenes. And I need to, like, Uro, this orc descending to talk to the party. He is Moto's character. So I think I'm going to hop into a voice chat with him after this. Another reason to end early. And we're going to talk over some of this a little bit. I'm going to try to anyway. Because he expressed some interest in voicing Uro. So I want to just like talk about some of the ways this might escalate and stuff. But we're going to open on Uro approaching the party. I don't think I'm gonna have like lines for him to say. I'll just let him like voice things kind of how he wants, but again, determined to retrieve Augustine's body. Doesn't want to outright fight the party, the monsters. Capital M. If they are resistant to turning over Augustine's body, he will well, he might challenge them, you know, might say something along the lines of I'm a cleric. Gifted with magic. Gifted magic by an ancient being beyond the veil. Let's see. What am I trying to say? This is another one of those lines that worked very well in my head. It was like an idea that worked well in my head, but then I don't have the full thing. Like writing out the full idea is like harder to put poetically or smoothly in dialogue. But the idea is like I'll just shorten this. I'm gifted magic by an ancient one beyond the veil. If your band has any hope to defeat me, hope of defeating me, surely surely one of you could defeat me in hand-to-hand combat without my magic. Something like that. That's a little clumsy, but I'll float the idea to Moto and he can voice it how I'll give the burden to him. I'll say I might like challenge. The idea is he might challenge like Turkan or their strongest physical fighter, whoever they think it is, to like a duel. And like, if that person, he's not exactly saying like, you know, I'll let you do whatever you want if you can beat me in a one-on-one duel. He's saying, like, to prove my strength, to prove that I can mop the floor with you as a group if I used my magic, one of you come at me. One of you test me. See how strong I am in hand-to-hand combat where I'm not trying to kill you, and then see what you think after that. He is just a very high-level player character, so he actually just can kind of mop the floor with the party. He's, like, a little bit beyond their reach. So if they outright start a fight, though, he will summon a creature, spider maybe, to entertain them and go for Augustine's body. So that's the general idea. So I just want to... I've already kind of talked to Moto about how it might escalate here, but this is the general outline. I'll leave it up to Moto how much he like entertains their questions and everything. Yeah. If anyone tries to attack his underling at the top of the cliff, he will prioritize taking that person out. Okay, so there's the Uro scene. Not that worried about it, but there might be a lot of pauses of, you know, if they have clever questions to ask Uro, there might be a lot of pauses where I'm like, stand by, and then I like DM Moto a line, or like DM Moto what Uro's deal is in that moment. So we'll see. Let's see. So then, scene one. Returning to the camp at Moonlight Pools. Oh, I should... What exactly do I have, like... I do have a article for the hand. Sort of. Okay. Let's just do this once. I I've realized I'm not, like, linking my notes to, like, the NPCs they reference as much. I try not to do it in secrets and clues because those might be in a bunch of these session notes and might not actually, like, nothing might actually happen with those NPCs just because they're in, like, the list of 10 secrets or clues that might come up. So I try not to do that, but I've been maybe not so good about hot linking the NPCs that definitely have things going on. Okay. So if they return to camp at the Moonlight Pools, they will find the voice there again. He is a doppelganger. How do you spell doppelganger? With 2 P's. Okay. And then the rest of the letters. He's a doppelganger. Oh, I don't have an NPC page for the voice. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Anyway, he's a doppelganger. Knows most of what the voice knew due to the quote-unquote angels. We'll just say Ruchalics. I don't actually have a page for the Ruchalics either, so that's silly. Do the angels transferring that information to him? So the idea is like the actual voice was like freely providing this information to the Ruchalics, the angels, who then can just load that information into this doppelganger, and the voice will continue. I went back and forth on either that or making Scene of Auction's former bandmate, making the Bard's former bandmate, the 8th Bite, he who drums, making him like the new voice. But I kind of like the what the fuck of the doppelganger being here. It hints at some other things that might be happening in the game or in the future. Yeah, puts some questions into their head. I don't know. There's like a decent chance the party just tries to kill him. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Yeah. We'll see. That's all. That's all I'm even gonna write with that one. These headphones are falling out a lot today. Ambush is covered after the fight. Party sticks around. A voice will echo from the top of the range. Test the spell, leave aside from right size. Player know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything in the. I didn't look at this description when I was saying it. I didn't like reference this, but I think I covered everything important. I didn't say this line exactly the same. This like, well fought and well won, but that one still has a part to play, and I can't let him be removed from the board just yet. I delivered that slightly differently. That maybe less explicitly said like, "Hey, I'm gonna revive this man." They have to know he doesn't want the body for anything good, but yeah. All the same, I was less explicit about it. So we'll take scenes 2 and 3. They could still happen. Reuniting with Nahi and Katoda. And the next time Steris sleeps, they still have to have this dream about the Naga, their patron. Rewarding them for letting out these ancient gods from the original world. The world as it was. Before that, let's, okay, a couple of things. Let's reorganize this a bit. So, voices at the pools, doppelganger, blah, blah, blah. Here are a couple of rumbling pops. A couple of impacts. From beyond the ravine. So this is just more of those moonflowers getting thrown at the world, literally from this comet that the Seraph is arriving on. So that's going on. Venturing back to the city. See burned out corpses of moonflowers along the ridges below the city and the defensive walls leading up to it. Defenders along the wall. Well, you know, maybe not defenders. Maybe not right now. If they're arriving in between fights here. More is going to be happening at the city these last couple of days than they perhaps thought. So there's this escalation. These moonflowers that they saw are trying to soften up the city a little bit. Let's see. Scorch marks line the terrain below the city. Beyond those scorch marks, you can see you can see that the moonflowers have you can see shapes in the dark, almost like forests. The surviving moonflowers have planted themselves seem to be biding their time. Well, let's see. The moonflowers have planted themselves. They do not seem to be on the offensive at the moment. And instead of saying moonflowers, let's not say the monster name here. You see the burned out corpses of those flowers. Those rubbery alien flowers you saw on your way to the pools. Let's see. Rearrange this information. Do the more important part first, the more important part first. We'll just say, like, lining. The ridges and walls around the city. Okay. There we go. So, going back to the city, they'll see that the city is, like, kind of under attack. And then beyond all of this... I'll call this 5. Scene number 4. Probably after they've reunited with Nahi and Kotota. There's a lot to do in the city all of a sudden. Let's see. Okay. I guess this should be next. Maybe this will be like the dawn of the day, the next day. And hopefully I'll remember this in the moment and scroll down. But dawn of the next day. I guess alarms would be sounded first. Alarms are sounded. What do these drow use for an alarm? Do they... they hammer bells? Probably not. They could have horns. We'll leave it at alarms are sounded for now. A moment later. A deep whirring sound? How do you say it? I don't suppose whirring has a proper spelling. Ah, yes it does. W-H-I-R. Today I learned. Deep whirring sound is felt. Outside, a kind of like a pale green barrier is forming around this city. So the city is under attack. The city is going to start to be sieged. There's going to be a day-long kind of a day-long siege. More of these moonflowers are going to be just like landing in the fields around this city. coming down through the gorge. And they will be, will show that they were like gathering around the city. They weren't on the offensive the previous day. But then this last day leading up to the Seraph's arrival, the Moonflowers are going to be attacking the city, but they will not be alone. If they investigate beyond the walls, a couple of let's see. There are more than the flowers beyond the wall now. Red humanoids with angular, even spiky features. Have set up a line amidst, I can spell, the flowers. Adminced. Wow, good job, Varys. Amidst the flowers. Devils. We'll put devils in parentheses so I know I'm not supposed to say that out loud. Two strange beasts, two strange rust-colored metallic beasts are hauling what looks like two pieces of artillery to the front of their lines. Large cannons of strange design. Maybe I'll describe them as being like the heads of some beast or something. After a time, those cannons... Is that how you spell cannons? I get mixed up between cannon and cannon. It is with two N's. Okay, great. The cameras are with one N? And canonical, etc. Anyway. Also, you'll never believe it, but the first result was actually not artillery pieces when I searched cannon just now. In fact, it was a certain judge. Who'd have thought? What are you doing, Joe? What are you doing, Joe? He's making like a bed for himself out of the blankets. He's just like shoving them around. Okay. He's very cute. This cannon's fire. The blast launched from them. The blast that launches from them? Whatever. The blast that launches from them is a ghostly, unsettling purple hue. Not a physical projectile. Instead, it is a ghostly, unsettling purple hue. Strange fireball. Ghostly with the ghostly, unsettling purple hue. Blah, 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 blah. When it impacts the barrier, that purple flame engulfs the green wall, seemingly dissolving it. The purple flame licks off the barrier and falls into the city, setting buildings and streets ablaze. And this is something that's been building since the last campaign. These pieces of artillery are basically made out of people's souls. And it's a special magic that was used to destroy these anchors, these towers that, like, kind of protected this world from interdimensional travel and, like, kind of hid the world from outside. You know, difficult to travel here through space or through interdimensional travel with these barriers in place, or with these towers in place. These towers were, like, made in a very special way, very difficult to destroy, kind of magically enchanted to be effectively permanent fixtures on the planet. But these, like, this soul-based artillery that the devils have made destroyed one of those towers. And now they're using that same artillery to destroy this barrier. So that's what these devils have been doing. That seems to... The fireball seems to scream through the air. Yeah, okay. So, city's gonna come under attack. And I have no idea what the party's gonna do, but the city's gonna come under attack. Yeah, don't know. Don't know exactly what the party will do, but this is going to be kind of the reveal that, like, hey, there are devils here. Devils are working with not with the Unshackled exactly, but with these flowers that the party knows are minions of the Seraph that is on his way here. And that the forces of the Seraph are starting to move. Is there a meanwhile? I was kind of gonna have... I think I should hold off. The Augustine, his kind of fixer man, the Huntsman, is kind of this murderer that he got out of prison and then, like, kind of rewrote his memories, kind of in some fucked up ways, kind of rehabilitated this murderer to then use for his own purposes. You know, making him think that what he's doing is righteous as long as it's for Augustine and the Seraph. And that it's, like, kind of making up for his past sins or whatever. Then he's been manipulated to feel worse about these past sins than he otherwise may have. So I kind of want the Huntsman to dog them as they run. I think that the party is going to, one way or another, the party's going to leave this area eventually, probably after the Seraph arrives and things really go to hell. I should almost... Some other things going on. Whatever. Anyway, so I was like, do we have the Huntsman come here and hunt them while this siege is going on? But I think I'm going to wait on that and spring it on them whenever they leave this area, the huntsman is going to follow them and try to take them out. Yeah. Other things going on here. When the Drow City fell under siege, which was not just like 5 minutes before the party arrived, it was like the day before, they sent out word sent a runner to the human city for reinforcements, the human and the dwarf city in their collective, their larger nation, saying like, we are under attack and we need help. So they are about to invite kind of the human army in. The human army is going to be, some of the human army is going to be ready to come and assist, but the human is already working with the Seraph. The human is already with the cult, and this is kind of like part of the plan is to have the Drow kind of like welcome the humans in, welcome the reinforcements in, and then when the Seraph arrives, they have this hostile force kind of ready to assist the Seraph in like taking over this Drow city deep underground. I'm kind of mean to my Drow. The 2 times we've seen a Drow city, it's been under attack. But at least they're definitely not bad guys. In both of my campaigns that the Drow have shown up in, they are not the bad guys. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't think I need to write another scene. There's some other, so there's the stuff with the humans, like I said. I think the humans have like kind of have their forces ready to go, and they'll be able to get here relatively quickly, faster than one might expect. And there's, there's some other stuff going on in the background, but that's the idea going on here. There's like effectively the cult is ready to put in place leaders who are ready to work with the Seraph until it's like too late. So anyway, those scenes written out, those very probable scenes written out, let's look over secrets and clues. There's a couple here that aren't going to be relevant anymore, at least one. So the Orc-estrations is in Temel, that's still relevant. The Unshackled have an independent military cell, still relevant, but might not really. I guess that doorbell was very sus for my dog. You're just gonna hear him. You're just gonna hear him for a minute. Okay. So anyway, Seraph's Comet will arrive before 3 nights pass. That's fine. Turris' Core is a fairly typical one. Totally fine. Totally relevant. Construct guards, the Rotunda. Nah, they're just gonna like find this out, right? Crower, Henry, whoever stole the Forgotten God, companion, right, stolen artifacts. This isn't like super relevant. My goodness. I don't know why he is so wired today. Oh, the holiday music. Okay. I can load. So anyway, we don't need to, well, yeah, I think the eye and the voice have been working with the devils to break down the magic hiding the world away. I think that's not relevant anymore. King and King of Sarosa is already an ally of the Unshackled. That is relevant. Construct guards the Rotunda. The researchers had to retreat until a contact with a connection to the four was brought in. Contact unknown. Let's move that up to when they're talking to Nahia and Kotoda. They don't even... Let's not get rid of this yet, actually. It's in my head well enough that this this contact, this priest of Denala was brought in to help the researchers. This isn't something Nahia and Kotoda would have, like, their hirelings would have gotten on their own. This is only something that if they, like, probe deeper, they could find this. So we'll leave that in the secrets and clues. The world's mana and spiritual energy, something is still shackled by ley line nexuses. This isn't really a secret and clue anymore, and this is, like, a thing that might come up, but it's not a thing that could come up very, like, generally, randomly, you know? Yeah, some of this stuff is just, like, not things they would randomly run into anymore, and it's only, like, if they go look into Augustine, if they look into the Huntsman, they might find out that it's some fellow that Augustine got pardoned. So that's not really a secret or clue anymore. Because secrets and clues are supposed to be things that, like, could come up anywhere. Could be shown kind of anywhere. I'm not supposed to have, like, specific ideas for how those things might come up. And so, like, the very specific things don't really belong on the secrets and clues list. Like, if I have an idea of how they'll find the information, then it should just go there. You know? Does that make sense? This one's fine. The Rotunda contains the more dangerous gods. That's fine. Titania gave up Vezgal, their best warrior, to cause... yeah. That's fine. No one's really talking about Vezgal now. No one's really going to find out this stuff about Vezgal. And the fact that they were kind of, like, assigned to this by Titania. So we'll delete our bonus one there. It was already kind of a cheaty one, so that's fine. I do kind of want to... The Dwarf King and King Rurith and Queen Redmore are all here. The kind of royalty that the party met in session, like, 3 or something. They're all now down in the Drow City. They're, like, seeing all the problems going on. So they're going to be, like, stuck inside the barrier, too. I kind of want to push the party back together with them a little bit. I don't think I'll do that in Secrets and Clues, but that's just a thought. Kind of same with Envoy. They haven't talked to Envoy since they left for Drowtown. So those are some thoughts that I'm not sure I'm going to do anything with in Session 12, but maybe Envoy's hanging out in Drowtown too now? Maybe. He has continued to follow his own leads, and they may have let him down here. That would be conceivable. I just haven't thought much about what Envoy is up to now, so I'll put a little bit of brain time into that. As for Secrets and Clues 7 and 9, I keep wanting to put things about like the artillery and like, you know, people hear screaming from the fire or whatever. That might come up just very organically. That's not really a secret or clue. That's again a very specific thing. That's pretty well in my head to seed already. So let's see. They're going to be stuck in this city. They're going to be looking around this city. If they get back to the city, I don't even know that this is where they'll go. It's just a hunch. Let's see. Devils have long worked with these cults. And people hungry for power. Looking for a way to... looking for an opening. To claw their way into this world. So there's that. That's fair enough. Even though it's immediately relevant, that's kind of side information enough that it can be a secret or clue. What else? What have they missed? What would I like to drive them towards? And that's why this leyline one is here. Is like... eventually they will find out that, like, even if they let Gons out and stuff, these Gons that they are releasing are less powerful than they remember for multiple reasons, but this is one of them. So if they want, like, full-powered gods helping them, if they want the full power of divinity to help get rid of the Seraph, they will need to unlock the leyline nexuses. Okay. And this is an unfair one because the... let's see. This is an unfair one, sort of, because one of the party members knows this, but, like, the Divine Naga that served the four are the same as those referenced as Guardians of the Land. So, one and a half of the party members, the players, know this. One of the party members literally knows this. So yeah, this might slip in somewhere. This is kind of important. I'm kind of just now having the realization that many of the party members don't know. We've been talking about Naga as creatures, as beings. Many of the current party don't know. This is what happens when you run multiple campaigns in the same world. Many of the current party don't know that there are 4 pretty notable Naga who served the 4 main gods of the world for time immemorial, since time immemorial. So that's important to get out there. Okay, so there's that. And that leads us right up to break time. So I'm gonna step away, stretch my legs a little bit, walk upstairs, see what my dog was barking at, see what the doorbell was, and then we'll come back. We're done with the worksheet. We could reasonably like run the session with this, but we're gonna make some stat sheets. We're gonna grab some devils out of the compendium, throw them in case the party goes and fights some devils. We're gonna make sure this this orc pugilist cleric is ready to go in terms of character sheet, and we'll probably do that all in about the next hour once I get back, and then we'll call it good. So catch you guys in a minute, and we'll put some of that together. All right, we are back. I didn't check if I'm not still logged into my game. I got AFK'd out of my game. So that's interesting. Okay, we're logging in just fine, right? Right, the server's still gonna be up. Okay, so we're back. Got our worksheet filled out. And now we're just gonna do a little bit of homework. We're gonna get some character sheets and stuff ready. I do gotta log into the other game. It's kind of the more immediate thing. But we'll drag out some devils real quick, and then we'll start up the other server. And try to get Arrow's character sheet ported over. And void him up a little bit. Void up the old pugilist cleric. World seems to be taking a while to load. Thanks. Thanks. It's fine earlier. That's exactly what I was saying about Forge a couple minutes ago. Do you want to have an active stream on YouTube? That's just a line. I'm looking at my active stream right now. Caster Labs. What about my internet? Is my internet fine? Seems to be. Okay, okay, okay. We're good. It's all good. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page, though. Getting a little concerned with multiple services kind of freaking out all of a sudden, but stream is still uploading at I was going to say 4K, but that's a little 4,000 kilobits per second. Forge? Forja? Hello? Faroja? Might just go load up the other game, which is also going to be a pain. Because this, I haven't started this server in 70 days, which could be, it could be goofy updating everything on it to the latest stuff. I see. It's just in a paused state. Let's hit launch, and it should pause the other one. And we'll see what we can do. I need to open another Forge window, actually. And figure out, like, the shared compendium situation. Which I always forget how to do. Create a module to share game entities between worlds. Do I already have one? Do I have one and it's just not turned on in the other world? Because that would be pretty funny. I do kind of actually think that I had one set up, and I'm a little confused now that I think about that. Migrating around the new system. Fair enough. Maybe I deleted it. I want to get in and look at it. Oh my god, it's still delayed. Okay. Okay. Increasingly thinking I should just do this offline. Manage a shared folder. I haven't been in the asset library manager in a bit. There aren't any shared folders. Interesting. Modules. Okay. None of these appear to be the custom modules. So maybe I do need to make a new one. Or maybe the system has changed. It's like pretty easy to do with a local foundry install, but on Forge it's a little bit more of a thing. Okay, stop. Stop thugging around with things. Try to launch the game again. This is definitely migrating between different Foundry versions and different Pathfinder versions. Not like full Foundry versions. It's not going to like V12 or something, but it's jumping some patches. Yeah, I need to just like, I need to stop getting distracted, but I am getting distracted, but I need to stop getting distracted. But I am. Forgotten Adventures has so many assets. I think I already have all of these, but man, they're like most of the assets on here. I remember looking through this when I first got here, when I first got on Forge, and I was like, oh, this is just like all the stuff I already own on Roll20. It's a little different now, but probably still most of this stuff is available on the Roll20 store too. Okay. Ugh. Well, I don't want to stop the server while it's migrating, but this is taking a while. I just want to go back and pull out the devils at this point. Should have been doing this while I was doing the worksheet and stuff. I didn't think it would take this long. Let me FOMO myself, see who's online. Because if this is gonna, I don't want to just like sit here and stream me waiting for things to load, you know? That's frustrating for all involved, so I'm just gonna check who's around. And we might just hop out. I would like to do a little bit more work. Okay. Hey, it loaded? Whoa, it's giga broken. Is this... What the... This is like totally the wrong game. That's like totally the wrong game. That's just like not the right game at all. That's giga old. Giga old. Stop that server. I don't even know why. That was concerning. I'm a little worried about that. Well, the Marches is the one that I'm supposed to, oh, heck. Try that again in a little bit. Oh, man. Yeah, this, I mean, I like know how time works. I know how the fact that it's been 12 sessions means that it's been at least 12 weeks since we started this campaign. But then I look at like, oh, we played Menace under Otari 90 days ago. Putting in terms of days is something else, man. God, no wonder that was taking so long, though. Hello, can I configure? Can we get to the configuration, please? Please, please, please. Okay. It's gonna happen when I hit welcome to the marshes. What's gonna happen? What else? What else can we do while we wait? Because this shouldn't take as long to load up. God willing. But I don't have a whole lot. Don't have a whole lot of alternative content set up at the moment. I suppose I could draw something. Gosh darn it. You can go over my drawings. That would be embarrassing. My, like, practice drawings and stuff from recently. Okay, now we're loading in. Gee heck. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have to reload this again when I look at all my compendiums and I'm like, oh, I do need to make a shared compendium after all. Okay, let me see what we've got. Manage modules. I should just make a new one. I should just make a new compendium. Instead of trying to see if there's one that already exists. I suppose I can search for like shared. I have a shared scenes compendium, so that's one. And it's outdated. Marches, NBC. Okay, I'll make a new one. Which will assuredly require shutting down the server. Okay. Create a shared compendium. I had like a name for the world for a single module, a single compendium book that I made. And now I don't remember what the name of the world is, so so let's see. We'll just call this like shared. Let's call it something. Well, that's fine. Shared cross world compendia. All my stuff. For my campaigns, I don't know. I'm assuming. Oh, all of these names are pretty bad. Okay. I almost should use that world name I have, but whatever. I probably can't rename these later. That's very annoying. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Let's do cross-world in front of all these. And I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough. Create compendia. Imported successfully. Click here to view. It's in... It shows up here? Shared compendium. Okay. I'm so afraid to press this update button until I hit V12 for Foundry. Custom and... oh, okay, I see. So I have shared scenes, shared cross-world, and that's the only one. Okay, cool. Should work. Should work. Now we go back in to the marshes. Launch it. I'll just throw all the actors in there because this party is probably going to run into the kind of the mercenaries party from the marches. Not 100% sure, but probably. So we'll throw all the player characters from this over there so I can run those. So launch the game. Don't hang up on me, socket. I am continually tempted to just run this all on like Azure or like AWS or anything like that where I can like have exclusive, you know, I could like pay for the resources that I want. Like it would give me more storage space and more performance probably. But then I have to worry about like only authenticating my actual players. Which is like a bit tricky. Not a problem that like private games have, but a problem when you stream the game, for sure. Ugh. Error logging in. Oh, come on. Ugh. And again, super like the convenience of Forge until it starts denying me logging in a couple of times in a row and other such issues. Sometimes the performance not super good. Okay, stop the server. And the times when the frustration bleeds through. I don't know. There are benefits for doing all of the lovely work that Forge has done for me. There are benefits to doing that work yourself. Server started. Give it like 30 seconds to figure its shit out. You know, and then we'll get in there. We'll make the compendium, which will require refreshing again. And then we'll get to the other game. We'll import the compendium. I'm gonna have to do this all again later anyway. I should just go do this later. If we run into one more problem getting into this game, we'll do this later. Because I want to load it up with... I want to load up the shared compendium with a bunch of stuff. And right now it's just going to be like the player characters, but I want to load it up with like intercessions I've made, god entries I've made. I want to absolutely load it with all the stuff for this, son of a gun, all the stuff for this world. which is not the kind of boring homework I want to do on stream. Coming to that conclusion for a couple of things tonight. We've definitely like hit the interesting stuff, and now we're just doing homework. Like, I'm just gonna copy this cleric over and give him some more voidy spells. Maybe level him up from 8 to 10. So he has a more so he can just like summon a creature. Here's a thought. Here's a GM thought that could be useful for someone else's game who's watching. Oh my god. Error communicating, connection refused. I know what I said. I know what I said. I know I said I'm gonna stop and go. I'm just gonna. There we go. There we go. I knew it. I knew one more time was the key. So this character, this orc that has walked up to the party and confronted them and said, "I'm gonna take the corpse of that guy you just killed," which is not suspicious at all. The kind of way I'm gonna show that he's powerful is he's going to summon a creature that is him itself. Like, by the rules, he's going to summon this creature, and it is going to be strong enough to be a challenge for the party on its own. So that's going to kind of be the power scaling reveal there. Okay, now we have to go into manage modules. And we have to turn on the cross-world one. Save settings. Reload. But this reload rarely causes problems. It's like when the server shuts down and you're waiting for the server to start up, that it's like slow. Okay. And now, when I go over to Compendium, I should have a bunch of cross-world stuff. Yeah. Okay. So now I can open actors. I like how actors and monsters are two different things. That's interesting. Okay. So for actors, throw an arrow. It's currently locked? What do you mean it's locked? Unlock it. I would like to unlock it. I would like to unlock. That's the whole point. Okay, I just go in here and I unlock it, right? Toggle edit lock. Yes. Toss in Uro. Excelente. Toss in Risen. Toss in Dingo. Toss in Coyote Jackson. Anything else we want from this? Any custom stuff? The level lock might be relevant soon, although it's pretty high level. Basilisk, Barbazus. Barbazu has no picture. We'll find the devils on our own. Walker. What? Oh my god, okay. There's so many memes in here that I don't even know. I suppose I should throw Coyote Struct Companion Sin in there as well. Good we reviewed. Venager. Okay, that got a little weird. Don't need him. Don't need a Thunderbird. I don't know what Hallow is. I don't know who this is, but it's fine. Don't need the Time Lost Seer. Don't need anything from Gamelheim. Don't need anything here. Okay. The other thing I'm gonna look at is like I have this marches NPCs thing. Can't bring over the deities with this one. Need to look at the actors. Okay. I have actors and NPCs? Why? Okay. I don't think we'll need 6 for anything. We might eventually need the coyote, which is kind of funny. Oh, I remember. Okay. We'll throw over the coyote. We'll throw over Al. We'll throw over... Won't throw over Al Ascended. Don't need the Rhinosnax. Already have those. I don't think I need any of these. I know where to find them. If I do... Where was... Oh yeah, it was right here. They're actually shockingly close to... Not they. The party is not. But, the tower is like... Einkrad's tower, Voraktee's tower, is like right up here somewhere. I think that's where they ran into the Mirage, right? It's like right up here somewhere. So they're shockingly close to Ash Pine and Bluebeam. So why not throw them in? They're not going to run into Gemin. They're not going to run into any of this stuff. Not going to run into the Brightstones. They're probably not going to run into the Acolytes. We're probably going to save that. Probably going to save all this stuff for the marches if we ever come back. Don't need to even... Not even going to look at that. Not even going to look. Akalon we're definitely saving for the marches. Gurren, though. Gurren we should pull over. Because his backstory is all about this stuff. His backstory is all about the Dominion and the enemies that the party's gonna fight. Do I have... So there's the cross-world stuff that we need. I'll organize it someday. I do not have IUSIP in... Oh, but I do have it in... Never mind. Never mind. Have it in Rizen's sheet. That's fine. I don't think I'll need any of these scenes. I already covered that the NPCs are pretty much just the stripped down version of the actors page. Deities we might want to pull these over. Items had nothing of value for us. Okay. So let's go back to cross-world stuff. Cross-world, what is this? Deities? What even are... What even... They're items, right? So we got monsters, spells, items, cards, class features, monster features, scenes, macros, roll tables. I guess it goes in items, but that feels weird. That feels weird. What even what do I have? Jane's doesn't even... I probably want to remake Jane's. Kinoshiwani... Or Kinoshiwani might be... Might be one. That's for later. That's for later. We're done. We're good. It's all set. Back to the forge. What are you doing, Joe? Just sniffing around. Okay, we'll stop marches. Go to the Dominion. Stop the Dominion. Give it a good 5-10 count. I'm excited to go hang outside with the dogs. Start the server. Give it a good 5-10 count. Hit the launch button and pray. That wasn't a very long 5-10 count. I must admit. 'Twas a little rushed. But we recently were in this world. It started fast enough. Surely it won't give me an error, right? Right? Right. Yeah, dog. We play soon, Joe. Oh my goodness. We loaded. We loaded with no errors. Incredible. Incredible. Okay. And now we go to manage modules. Turn on the cross-world compendia. And we're in. And we're in. Okay. Star Dreamers is not even accurate really anymore, but it's where we're gonna throw Uro. And we're gonna make some edits, like I said. Because level 7 Uro has access to level 4 spells. Level 8 Uro does too. So we might give him access to level 5 spells. Spell preparation. Search this list. Type in summon. Huh. I thought there were more summon abilities. I want summon, like, animal. Okay, it is a level 1 thing. Celestial Dragon Fae. Summon entity. Oh my goodness. Five or lower, yeah. So yeah, I want the 5th rank version that gets a level 5 creature. These spells are pretty bad. I'm being reminded that in Pathfinder these spells are not so good. the summoning spells. Level 5 creature. And really, none of them. None of these are the only divine one. Oh, okay. There's plenty at 5. But only like primal gets summon animal. Okay, yeah, he does need access. He needs to be at least level 9, which is only +1 level from where he is. He needs to be level 9 to get access to 5th level creatures. So that's what we'll do. I thought you could heighten. Oh, heighten as listed. Okay, so you can summon any animal that is level 5 with the animal trait. So I want him to summon a big spider. That's kind of like wooden, like he is. So yeah, what I want him to summon is an ogre spider. Who has the animal trait. Heck yeah. So he's just gonna have summon animal, even though it's arcane or primal only. Because it just makes a lot of sense for him. He like is a cleric that should get a lot of primal spells with his stuff. So we'll do that. We'll give him summon an animal. And like you said, make him level 9. I'll look at all the other cleric stuff later. But for now, the main thing is sleepy dog. Throw a summon animal in here at Jojo. Silly dogs. Okay, we'll throw summon animal in here. There we go. There we go. So Uro is now level 9. I will give him some feats or whatever later. It's got an ancestry feat. What is this? Actor traits good. Okay, interesting. Huh, I don't know what this is. Don't see any suspicious like rules elements in there. That's just, I don't know. Got confused. Class feats, nothing at this level. So yeah, yep. There we go. He doesn't even need feats really. Cool. Cool. All right. And I said I would pull in some devils. So let's make a folder. Want the no, calm the court. Siege. Do the good dark purple color. Create a folder. Look up some devils. I think the low-level devils kind of... Oh, there's a lot more than I thought. Low-level devils I thought kind of sucked, but actually might just totally be fine. So we'll have some imps. If they go fight, they'll be harried by imps. Shapeless masses of quivering flesh. I just don't think they would waste sacrifices on summoning lemures. Imps are a different thing entirely. Ooh, a Barbazu though. Barbazu, they can be led by a Barbazi. The Zabubs, they really are. We'll pull them out. We'll pull them out. They might get used. But I think the Barbazi is going to be the kind of main opponent. Siluvanes. Memento Devils. So discord on the material plane by assuming the identities of the dead, so long as it possesses a cherished item. Buried with the corpse, a Memento Devil can transform itself into a perfect copy of any deceased mortal. While in this form, the Memento Devil can access the deceased's memories and use this knowledge to torment the living. Oh. Then maybe. I don't know that this will have anything to do with the siege, but that's fine. Love that Ashpine shows up because I added him to the Crossworld Compendia. Karam. Maybe. Crown Devils rarely busy themselves with the machinations of hell. Spread corruption and dissent in the lands of mortals. Though in their natural form, they are not as physically imposing or intimidating as many of their infernal kin. Crowns wield the power to destroy entire nations thanks to their silver tongues. Maybe this is what took over. Does he, like, transform? Cursed Coronation. Possesses a crown. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Having some thoughts there. We'll bring him out and we'll get the level lock out. I don't think they'll run into a level lock for a bit, but it's fine. I really shouldn't pull the level lock out. But they're the ones pulling the cannons. We'll leave them there. In case the party goes to interact. It would be silly of the party to charge out of this city and try to go assault the cannons, but we've all seen parties do silly things, haven't we? Okay. Okay. I think we're all set. I think I'm ready to run the game tomorrow. Yeah. Got pretty much everything covered. The only concern I have is that Voraktee and Moto were actively like, I don't know. I don't really know what we should do next. We have expended all of our goals here at the Moonlight Pools, and I do not know the next important thing to do. And they were talking in Voraktee's chat, and Voraktee was like, do you think Varys will, like, show us the way to the next thing? He'll put a breadcrumb right in front of us? And Moto was like, yes. And I was like, what have I ever done? What have I ever done to suggest to these people that I like will pull them along by the hand? I feel like I've done quite the opposite. I feel like I've made it clear that they've gone off my expected trail, and, like, I just have the situation set up and they can play around. They can do whatever they want for the next, until the Seraph arrives. They can prepare however they like. So I don't know if they'll just, like, never leave the Moonlight Pools. I don't know, we'll figure it out. We'll see what they do tomorrow. I'll noodle on that a little bit tonight when I'm hanging out with the dogs. I'll listen to some music and try to think if they hang around the pools too long, what kind of thread can I throw down? What rope can I toss for them to grab onto and get pulled back to the city? It's kind of their next reasonable location anyway. Like, they have NPCs they should go check in on. They should return Luca to Neria. They should go see. They can go check on Envoy. They can go check in with Nahi and Katota. They've got a lot of stuff they can go do that they've, like, set in motion. So I was a little alarmed. I was a little alarmed when they were like, I don't know what we're supposed to do next. I'm like, you're not supposed to do anything, but you have a lot of projects. You have a lot of, what is it, coals in the fire? You have a lot of pokers in the fire, whatever it is. You got a lot of things burning. So I'm gonna leave it up to them, I think. I'm just not gonna worry too much about over signaling where they should go. I've got a couple of things in there, like if they walk, there's intrigue to investigate. There's the note of if they go back to the camp, they're gonna see the voice there, and the voice is gonna act a little like ominous if they get into a conversation. Be like, our mutual friend has asked me not to get in your way as you depart. And if they try to fuck with them, he's gonna be, I don't know what's gonna happen if they try to fuck with him. It's a strong doppelganger, but and then like there will be these pops of the moonflowers getting thrown down from the comet as it descends, and more of the Seraph's forces arriving and everything. So there's stuff to keep their minds rolling tomorrow if they don't decide what to do next. But you know, hello, Agile Whisk, welcome. We were just I was actually just gonna close it down, but hello, thank you for stopping by. That is an adorable emote. I love Hollow Knight. I don't think I'm looking through the folks that are online, and it's like pretty quiet. It's like pretty surprisingly quiet for a Friday night. I could check if there's anyone on Pathfinder. That's what I should do. Not Pathfinder Infinite. Twitch.tv/Pathfinder. And then if not there, maybe we can check if anyone's doing... Oh, that's wrong as well. That's totally incorrect. Pathfinder, the game. And there's a couple of people playing some Pathfinder stuff. Ooh, in Eberron? Running Eberron in Pathfinder 2e. Well, we can go check that out. How long have they been going? Hope your D&D sesh goes well. Too bad I caught the end. Thank you, I appreciate that. And, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. But there's the session tomorrow. There's probably more prep on Monday. There's D&D music on Tuesday. Where are you? I do a lot of tabletop stuff around here. You never miss... If you miss something, there's always more stuff to look forward to. Yeah, I think we're gonna check out these guys running Eberron and Pathfinder. That's interesting to me. That's intriguing. So we'll start that raid. This is Melect. I have not been there before, I don't believe. So this will be our first time saying hello. What do we got? Like, I mean, I guess I just gave the synopsis. Tomorrow we'll be playing the very session that we prepared for today, setting up this siege with surprise devils and other things, seeing where the party goes, what they decide to do with the situation that's been set up, with the precious time left before the Seraph's Comet arrives. After that, we'll be doing a little bit of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, doing the last bit of, not the last bit of open world stuff, but the last bit of open world stuff I'm going to put up with before I get back to the story. And then Monday will be GM prep, after whatever happens next session, and Final Fantasy VII story stuff. Tuesday will be music, and probably Final Fantasy VII Rebirth story stuff. And then, don't know what the rest of the week is going to look like. I've got Dawn Trail coming out next Friday, and that's going to consume just my entire life for a couple of days. So, play it by ear. I'll let you guys know in the schedule in the Discord, and I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.